Hello everyone. Welcome to this channel Jikook Universe. In this video we will discuss something interesting and definitely a shame to miss. Come on, watch until the end. Recently, Jungkook's name has once again become the center of attention online. Rumors spread like a hot wind that shakes beliefs, creating confusion among those who don't know what to believe. Blurry photos, baseless stories, and narratives deliberately constructed to support wild imaginations about Taekook. All of it swirling aimlessly on social media. Someone claimed to have seen Jungkook at a Twice concert. Others added that he was with Taeyoung, even linking the moment to a secret date. Without clear evidence, it was presented as real. Behind the scenes, people began to speculate. But Jungkook didn't stay silent. In his calm and elegant way, Jungkook turned on his camera and decided to speak for himself. Without naming any names, without alluding to anyone, he shared simple facts. Where he was, what time it was, and what he was doing when the rumors spread. Those facts, cold, clear, and undeniable, acted as a gentle slap to those who dared to play with reality. He showed no anger. He didn't respond with sarcasm. In fact, with his composure he demonstrated a greater strength, honesty. He spoke not only to defend himself, but also to protect the people he cared about. And among them there was one name that, though unmentioned, felt so close in every word he chose. Jimin. Jungkook may not have said, "I'm with Jimin," but his body language, his choice of comments, and the direction of his attention during the live broadcast spoke louder than any words. When hundreds of comments mentioned Taeyoung, Jungkook chose to read and respond to the messages about Jimin. Casually, he said that Jimin was sleeping and that he wanted to record the moment. Simple but full of meaning. It wasn't just a response. It was a subtle acknowledgement of intimacy built on years of comfort and closeness. Jungkook and Jimin. Their names often appear side by side. Not because of fans' imaginations, but because of small, consistent gestures. The way they seek each other out in the crowd, the silent glances, the unhesitating touches, and the laughter that comes without force. If you pay close attention, you'll know. No one can fake it. The world may always be chasing labels, but they refuse to be defined by others' expectations. They don't brag, they don't boast. But it's in the unspokenness that everything becomes real. In silence they speak. In unannounced togetherness they show. Not all relationships need a statement. Some are simply present, and that's enough. What's interesting is how Jungkook handled these rumors with gentle firmness. He not only set the record straight but also set boundaries. He showed that his personal life isn't a subject for speculation. He taught a quiet lesson that relationships, whatever they are, aren't worthy of mass entertainment. And more profoundly, he showed that he has someone worth protecting. And for those who have been watching, it's not hard to guess who that person is. Jungkook and Jimin's relationship is not a new story. From their early days as trainees, to standing on the world stage, they have grown together. They have shared difficult nights, backstage tears, and proud triumphs. All of this forms something invisible yet deeply felt. A bond stronger than words. Often, the camera captures them in small moments. Jimin gently touching Jungkook's arm, Jungkook gazing at Jimin as if the world had stopped. They sit side by side unconsciously, matching their steps as they walk, even sharing drinks or food without hesitation. These things aren't the usual habits between co-workers. It's a love language unspoken but understood by the heart. And most surprising of all, they don't try to hide it anymore. Where they used to be more discreet, now Jimin appears in Jungkook's broadcasts. Sometimes just a voice, sometimes a fleeting shadow, but always there. They don't make announcements, but they don't deny it either. Because when the connection is so real, there's no need for proof. For some, this may be hard to accept. Some choose to deny it, constructing a different narrative to force the world to their liking. But the truth is, not everyone can be confined by expectations. Jungkook and Jimin have shown that they aren't playing by someone else's script. They're creating their own, slowly, gently, honestly. What they have is something that endures even when the stage lights go down. When the cameras are off and the world isn't watching, they still care for each other. That's the mark of a truly genuine relationship. Not designed for the spotlight but grown within it. Jikook isn't just a name echoed by fans. He's a reflection of the relationship between two people who have grown together and chosen to remain there. Not because the world wants them to, but because they want to. They don't need to explain because those who truly see will understand. And ultimately, as Jungkook demonstrated that night, not every truth needs to be shouted. Sometimes, a look, a calm demeanor, and the presence of someone behind the scenes are enough. True truth doesn't need a loud voice. It simply needs to be real. What Jungkook did wasn't just a clarification. It was a statement, not in loud words but through meaningful silence. When others sought sensation, he sought calm. When the world demanded answers, he chose honesty. And in the process, he also protected someone who was never far from his emotional side. Jimin. Those who pay close attention know one thing. Every time Jimin is mentioned, Jungkook's aura changes. His voice softens, his expression relaxes, and a smile appears as if his body remembers the comfort that comes with being with only one person. Nothing is staged. No false narrative. It's simply the body's reaction to the presence of someone meaningful. And isn't that the most honest thing about a relationship? When there's no script. When the body speaks before the mouth can. When someone's name is enough to make the world feel a little lighter. That name for Jungkook is Jimin. What they show in their daily interactions isn't just chemistry. It's the result of time, shared experiences, and a comfort that grows unforced. Not just in moments on stage, but in breaks from practice, in laughter in waiting rooms, in waiting for each other at the airport, or on nights when everyone else is asleep, but they're still awake, telling stories or just sitting side by side in a silence that's never awkward. There's one moment that fans often talk about, but rarely noticed by those who only see the surface. The moment when the camera pans to the stage and all the members cheer. But if you're observant enough, you'll see Jungkook's eyes searching for someone in the crowd. His body instinctively moves closer. And that someone, always, is Jimin. It's not a call of duty. It's a call of the heart. Of course, many will say, it's just friendship. Just a form of closeness between members. But not all closeness is of the same quality. Not all touches feel the same. There are polite touches. There are spontaneous touches. And there are touches that know exactly where to land, as if the body has memorized a person's geography. Jimin's touch for Jungkook is the latter kind, and vice versa. And the most beautiful thing about all of this is, they don't do it for us. They do it for each other. We just happen to be witnesses. We're just lucky enough to see a small fragment of something much bigger. Some people need the world to know they love them. Jungkook and Jimin don't. They don't scream. They don't demand recognition. But in their quietness, in the way they're present with each other, they've said everything. When Jungkook remained silent as the Taekook rumors circulated, choosing instead to respond with action. Not defense, but presence. It was a form of love. Love for honesty. Love for privacy. Love for someone who had been walking alongside him in the same shadow and light. Jimin. And during that broadcast, even though Jimin wasn't visible, his presence was felt. In Jungkook's tone. In the choice of comments he read. In his faint smile when Jimin's name came up. In the way he mentioned Jimin sleeping. Not as a joke, but as something he cherished tenderly in his memory. It wasn't a performance. It was a reality too intimate to explain, but too beautiful to ignore. Many say that the strongest relationships are those that aren't announced but felt. Relationships that don't seek validation because they've already found their place. And Jimin and Jungkook are a tangible manifestation of that. Not everyone will understand. Not everyone will accept. But like the night sky that doesn't need a spotlight to shine, their relationship still radiates its own light. Beyond rumors. Beyond labels. Beyond the need to explain. Because when two hearts find each other, the world doesn't need to understand. What matters is that they know they are there for each other. Thank you for accompanying the sweet story of Jimin and Jungkook today. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss their next special moment. See you in the next video, Jikookers.